Have you ever wondered why Sheldon Cooper can make something as simple as opening a door feel like a science experiment? That's exactly what makes The Big Bang Theory different from almost every other sitcom. The laughs don't come from random jokes. They come from watching a genius completely fail at understanding normal human behavior. And that's exactly what this episode delivers. From the very first minutes, the contrast between Sheldon and everyone around him creates comedy that feels effortless. When someone else is looking for comfort, Sheldon offers logic. When people expect sympathy, he gives facts. He's never trying to be rude. He honestly believes he's helping. And somehow, that makes every conversation even funnier. One thing this episode does brilliantly is show how ordinary situations become unforgettable once Sheldon gets involved. A minor inconvenience suddenly turns into a detailed scientific explanation. A simple disagreement somehow becomes a debate about rules, logic, and technical accuracy. Instead of solving problems quickly, Sheldon usually makes them much bigger. And that's exactly why viewers can't stop watching. What also makes this episode work is the balance between all of the characters. Leonard represents patience. Penny brings common sense into a world full of overthinking. Howard adds confidence that usually gets him into trouble. Raj delivers awkward but lovable moments. And then there's Sheldon, who somehow manages to steal almost every scene without even trying. The chemistry between the cast is one of the biggest reasons the show stayed popular for so many years. Every character reacts differently to Sheldon's behavior. Some argue with him. Some ignore him. Some simply give up, but every reaction creates another joke. Another reason this episode stands out is the writing. The comedy doesn't rely on loud jokes every few seconds. Instead, it builds naturally through personality clashes. The funniest moments often begin with something completely normal before slowly becoming absolutely ridiculous. That's a style very few sitcoms have managed to master. The pacing also deserves a lot of credit. There's almost no wasted time. Every scene introduces a new conflict, a new misunderstanding, or another opportunity for Sheldon to completely misread a social situation. That keeps the episode moving without ever feeling repetitive. One of my favorite things about this show is that the jokes still work years later. Technology changes. Trends change. But awkward friendships, misunderstandings, and everyday frustrations never disappear. That's why these episodes remain so rewatchable. Even after multiple viewings, the timing still feels sharp and the dialogue still lands. Of course, no sitcom is perfect. Some viewers may find Sheldon frustrating. Others might think he takes things too far. But that's also the point. Without those exaggerated personality traits, The Big Bang Theory wouldn't be nearly as memorable. Love him or hate him, Sheldon Cooper is the engine that keeps the comedy running. Overall, this episode reminds us why millions of fans continue to revisit this series. It's smart without feeling complicated. It's funny without trying too hard. And it turns ordinary life into something completely unpredictable. If you're already a longtime fan, this episode delivers exactly what you'd expect. If you're new to the show, it's a great example of why these characters became television icons. My final rating is 9 out of 10. Funny, clever, and endlessly entertaining. If you enjoyed this review, make sure to subscribe for TV and sitcom breakdowns. And let me know in the comments. Which Big Bang Theory character would be the hardest person to live with? Personally, I think we all know the answer. What makes this episode stand out isn't just the comedy, it's how every character reacts differently to the same situation. Sheldon never believes he's being difficult. From his perspective, he's simply following logic wherever it leads. That's what creates the biggest laughs. The audience understands why everyone around him is frustrated, but at the same time, it's impossible not to appreciate how consistent his character is. Another reason this episode works so well is the chemistry between the cast. Every conversation feels natural because each character has a completely different personality. Those differences create conflict, and that conflict creates comedy. Even years after it first aired, these moments still feel fresh. Great sitcoms don't rely only on jokes, they rely on characters that people remember. Sheldon, Leonard, Penny, Howard, Raj, and Amy each bring something unique, which is why the series continues to attract new viewers. If you're looking for an episode that captures the humor and charm of The Big Bang Theory, this is definitely one worth watching. It combines smart writing, memorable performances, and the kind of everyday situations that become hilarious because of the characters involved. That's what makes the show one of the most successful sitcoms ever created.